Okay, welcome everyone. Will start lesson 3. Today lesson will go through LO3 learning outcome 3, which is about understand the models and the processes of analyzing business environment and design the strategic marketing in a different context. So we can look around in different contexts, strategic marketing, which is mean the long term, the strategies and action plans. That will be all focus today lesson. So last lesson we discussed about innovation. Today is more about strategic options and strategy. That's what we will go through. So you can look around your current knowledge in a different organization context. Always good to be reflect. Okay, so today lesson will be key focus. We have a lot of models we can use, which we can embed. Some our discussion will cover, and we can any model you want to explore. We can look around the BCG. We can look around Boston Consultant Group model, which is called the BCG matrix. So we can include BCG matrix. We can look around the UNSUF matrix. So guys, just spend few minutes, look around, the BCG, UNSUF. Can you do a bit of research, please? Spend 5 minutes, do a bit of research. Huh? Okay, so will you do a bit of research, BCG matrix, which I'll copy the link for you to be for further reading. Okay, that's we'll go through. Okay, so other model is UNSUF metric, please. Can we do a bit research about UNSUF? Who was UNSUF metrics? Who gave this UNSUF metrics? So thus we can copy the links for you, and I will be further reading here. We can look around. Okay, so anybody any question up to now? Let's we can move back to, and I'll show you, and which will go through in a minute. Okay guys, do a bit research, 2-3 minutes, UNSUF metric, BCG metrics, and then we'll start our session. Hope so. In the meanwhile, everyone will join us. Okay, we'll start. Okay, can you see all? Yes, we'll start our session now. Today we go through all bits and pieces. So that's the indicative contents which we'll go through, and we cover most of the things in other unit as well, which is unit 1, the contemporary issue. Here we're looking at the unit 2, which is challenges in contemporary issues within that, strategic marketing. And today lesson will go through 3.1, the assessment criteria, learning outcome 3, and 3.1, compare and contrast the tool, undertake, external environmental analysis, internal. So key tools we can use the SWOT, SWOT, we can use the PEST, and we can use the Porter 5 forces. Okay, these are the key models we can embed in our writing. Okay, that's we can. So marketing environment consists of the actor and the forces within affect the company's capabilities. Capabilities mean ability to do something, and competencies mean you're excellent, you're exceeding, you have a competitive advantage as well. So the company, those, the capability to operate, effectively is providing the product and the services in a chosen market. So it can be classified the micro environment, which is mean external. Micro is MICRO, micro is internal, which is and it's a controllable. You can change the layout, you can change the color, you can change the shift pattern, you can within a company. But external environment, which is known as a macro, which is uncontrollable, we have to adjust our operation. COVID-19 we can't control as an individual firm, so we have to be in environment, whatever the policies and procedures we have. So we can look around the micro and macro levels. Yes. So everything in the organization environment that impact you, well, it separates. Some factors have a direct impact and some factors have an indirect. Some have an impact and some our organization can't be controlled. And some factor impact and the organization maybe have some influence on them. Okay, that's then we PEST, which is stand for political. So what's come under political stability, tax legislation, economics environment. We can look around per capita income, exchange rate, economics growth, taxation, unemployment. Social factors, we can look around education, living style, trends, society, and the technology. We can look around the technological factors, which we discuss in other unit as well, which we can further go through in details as well. So in Google, if you type, the pest analysis, Kaplan, there are plenty of examples, guys. You can embed in your assignment when you will do your assignment. Okay, that's his best. Okay, then Porter five force is, as Michael Porter, one of the great scholar, he gave the five uh, is called five force model, which is Porter five forces is known very popular framework is your the strategic analysis, the stage planning. Porter looked in the structure of industries, particularly he was interested in assessing industry attractiveness by meant by how easy it would be to make above average profit for the stakeholders, fund adequate investment. He concluded that the industry attractiveness depends upon the five factors and threat of the new entrant, threat of the substitute, and the threat of. So these are the five boxes and the five forces. So what as a company we can do, we'll try to create a barrier, develop the barriers to create, and that will, we can protect our company. So thread of the new entrance. So if there is a thread of the new entrance, what you can do, how you can draw the barriers. So you focus on the economies of scale. You look around the product differentiation. You look around the capital requirement. You switching costs one to others. You have to focus. Assess the distribution channel, cost advantages of the existing producer, know-how, and the regulation. All we have to be put around. So these, we can, if we have that knowledge, we can draw the barriers so no company enter in our territory to be become a stress, become a really the risk for existing companies, our operations. So that's we need to be look around. Any question, anyone here, please? If you have, you can drop me email. Those are listening this recording. Please do so. Then next, we move to. Okay. Then the thread of the substitute product. The thread is across industry. Rail travel versus the other, the bus revival versus the private cars and other industries. So thread of the substitute, So if the fast track and then the cheaper airline and vice versa, these we can look around the thread of the substitute to industry. Then we can look around the bargaining power. Powerful the customer can be forced price cut and quality improvement, and either ways, the margin are. So bargaining power is a high when the combination factor arise, such as the factor include a buyer purchase a high proportion and the supplier totally the business represent high proportion of the total trade in. So bargaining power of supply buyer, if there are the good, so we need to be draw the barrier how we can will be and draw so we can make a product in that help to be sustained in the market. Okay, bargaining power of supplier charge, high price will be influenced. So the degree of switching the cost apply, the substitutes available, the presence of two dominant suppliers controlling the price or many suppliers. competitive rivalry, we can look around, is a high or low, the number and relative the strength of the competitor, the rate of the growth. These, all the factors, we can keep in mind when we'll do the strategic planning, the long-term plan. Anybody, any question, guys? If you have a question, you can ask. Okay. Then there is a criticism about the Porter 5 forces. Over the last, 3 decades, the business has a focus on the fundamental idea, the pursuit, the sustainable competitive. While the idea of the competition is not a new, Michael Porter extended the concept from competing with the rivalry, incorporating and struggle the power between firms and the 5 competitive forces. So Porter argued that each of these forces can be reduced overall the industry profitability, the industry firms shares the profit and their profit potential, because they can influence the price, cost, and the level of investment. So not everyone agree with the Porter, and some argue that the idea of satisfying the customer needs should not be abandoned in the favor of the view the see the customer either the direct competition or mean the ferment. So the customer are not object whose reason is being fought over by any competing competitor seeking sustainable so Porter might thus distract managers from seeing the customer as a potential partners. So that's a bit the criticism on. Then environmental, you need to look on strategic marketing fit. Environment, your strategies and organization. If that fit, that's a great idea. And then the responses to the environmental changes. When the environment change, your response as an organization, we need to be environmental change. Ignore. We need to be look either you ignore or draw the barriers to change or delay it. Gradual strategic repositioning, retrenchment, and the radical strategic repositioning we can do. Okay. Then next we're looking 3.2, guys. In this one, we are looking examine the link between the competitive strategic position and strategic tactics. So different tactics we can use it. We can segment. We can do strategic partnership. We can make joint venture, and we can look around various other possible options. So strategic analysis is the key step in the strategic planning. Analysis and examination of the current strategic position, choices, strategic implementation, and strategy into action. So assessing the strategic position consists of the environmental, competitor, market regulator, discoveries, and the key factors that often summarize opportunities and threats. Strategic capabilities, so resource competency. The key factor often summarize strength and weaknesses. So we can conduct the SWOT analysis in the further slide will indicate cultures. We need to understand the beliefs and norms, and we need to understand the stakeholders. So the strategic position and analysis, strategic choices, and then your strategy in action you implement. So that's the key. We can look around the external environment, which is we can't control. That's earlier we said micro environment, and we have to draw or make strategy. It can be outsourced. It can be yes. So differentiation according to UNSOF. So UNSOF metrics. Okay. I can show you UNSOF metric. According to UNSOF metric, which is just 1 second. I'll give you a few. UNSOF metric, TOES metrics, and these being given this. So which we learn in other units as well. Okay, just 1 second. Portfolio SB. So this is we have is called BCG metric. So we can look around the BCG metrics in under the product portfolio. That's BCG. So we can look around any product which is star, which is cash scope, question mark, and problem charge, which is given by the Boston Consultant Group. This metric. Okay, and other metric we can look around. After this, we can look around UNSOF metric. So this is the UNSOF metric, which is given by a Gore UNSOF, and we can focus on the marketing strategies based on UNSOF. So according to the UNSOF metric, what we can do, make the strategies based on the environmental analysis, existing product into existing market, you can sell it. It's called market penetration strategy. New product existing product into new market. This is called market development. Maybe the product is according to the product life cycle is a decline stage here. New product, the existing market is called the product development. And if you looking the new product into new market, that's a diversification. So these are the strategies we can use it to make our business more sustainable. And that's the marketing strategies we can use it. Okay, then we have a porter generic strategies, cost focus, cost leadership, and differentiation focus. That's we can further look, and which we'll go through in the next lesson as well. Resources, always we need 3 M's. We need a good manage. Yes, so man, money, and material are we call the factor of production. So those we need to be well managed, and that will help to organization when will an internal and external can be influenced. Those we need to be managed. Okay, guys. So this slide will further guide us. Expectation of stakeholders. Stakeholders mean anybody who has any interest in the business is called stakeholder. That's we need to be. So think about the expectation of your shareholders, expectation of your customer, expectation of. Okay, so we can make we can use different mapping document in different industries, have a different expectation of the stakeholder. That's and they believe in exemption within our organization that represent the cultures and the consideration of the relevant features when you make the decision of the strategies. We need to be SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses. That's the internal within a company. You always measure it, and then you match it with external OT, which is external opportunities. The threads will come from the external environment. So internal and external, and you have to cross, and you do analysis as a company, and then you make the strategies accordingly. Okay, then Porter gave one model he called Porter Diamond model. Porter tried to be answer the following question: why does the nation become home-based, successful international competitor in the industry? Why a firm-based, particular nations able to create and sustainable competitive advantage? All we need to be Porter called answer these questions, determine the national competitive advantage. Okay, then the Porter value chain model is quite popular as well. We can look around the primary activities and secondary activities. These are the primary: inbound logistics, operation, outbound marketing and service, and then Porter said the farm infrastructure and all. That's the external. And then we look around the CSF. Every industry we have a critical success factor. Think about customer service is the critical success factor in the hospitality industry. So we can look around what are the critical success factor each industry. So then the product life cycle, we have growth, maturity, decline. Yeah, so introductory, growth, maturity, and decline. Okay, so we need to look around the M, the money, cash flows, management, manpower, all, the M's we need to be managed. So this is which is given by the Joker: money, management, manpower, manufacturing, market, material, and markup. That's all we need to be well managed. Okay, when we make the strategy, then we have a 3.3. We need to be justify, appropriate, strategic marketing objective. Objective mean end result. When you set the objective need to be SMART. SMART is stand for specific, measurable, Okay, guys, so we need to be look around the strategic planning when we do, so we need to be make sure we'll really focus on, and we can use, different model. There's a model about the Johnson and Scholes five lenses model. We can use, all other model to be create, and the purpose of our strategy is to create a competitive advantage for the long term as an organization. Strategy is the pattern. So of the activities, the seek to be achieved the activities as an organization. Why bother study about the company's plan? So advantages, focus on the organization, looking ahead, improve, fit for the environment, better resources, what it can be time consuming sometime. Okay, we have the strategy here. We look around the IBM. So guys, it's good to be read, the following cited reason why IBM changed in those years, their strategies. Okay, then the 3.4, we have evaluated the strategic marketing responding in emerging theme marketing strategies according to the Johnson and Scholes. Whittingham strategic planning is the modern development of the national planning model. Is consists of the three elements, discuss analysis, choices, and implementation, which we can look around, set mission, objective, look around internal, external, stakeholders appraisal, generate the strategic options, strategic choices, plan strategy, and review and control. That's we need to be look around. And then strategic option generation is the process of establishing a choice, of possible future strategies. So the portal describe certain generic competitive strategies, low cost differentiation. So organization may pursue competitive advantage. So we can look around the determine how to compete. Uns of metric which we discussed earlier. We can look around market penetration, market development, product development, and institutional strategy relationship with various, and the methods we can use it, and acquisition, joint venture. That's all we can look around to make an organization successful. What we look, it's all summarized according to the Jones School, full price airline, considering to setting off no frill, low fares, subsidiary. The strategic planning process include, strategic option, competitor action, price, the volume growth, all these analysis. Then strategic choices, we can look around, set up the service from the scratch, the existing cheaping airline and plans, to whom the service is to offer. And strategic implementation, how autonomous should be the new airline will be, how should recruit and train staff, all these strategies we can make it. Then we can look around, is it we are in the public sector and private sector, role of strategies being discussed, which we can focus, and the business, and the is it business is a national or multinational company, so our strategy we can focus accordingly. Other than that, guys, I copied the link for you here for further reading. So please, and plus we have a pathways available on Moodle. So please, do so as well and just focus. And if you have in between any question, please drop me email on my email address, anjum@ukversity.co.uk. And I hope, speak you all during our next session. Please make sure, try to join the session. So we'll deliver and we'll can do, the healthy discussion. So hope so I'll speak you all during our next lesson, and have a nice time and speak you all dude. Thank you. Bye bye.